Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Live from Beyond. My name's Andrew. I'll be your GM this evening, and tonight we'll be playing the horror fantasy module Deathfrost Doom. Our players will be taking the role of a small band of adventurers, striking out into the most hostile of places, searching for wealth, power, or long hidden knowledge. Players, why don't you take your turns introducing yourselves?
All right. Well, I'm Kevin. I'm going to be playing Abraham the cleric, and I'm going to survive this adventure and claim the riches for my temple.
I'm Paul. I will be playing Rhea the Thief, and I will probably die.
I'm Michael, and I'm going to be playing Alexandra the Brute.
Oh, that was it. No flavor.
Man of few
Sorry.
words.
I wasn't ready for it.
Let's keep up
I'm
the pace.
Nick, and I will be playing Losen, the elf, and I understand there's a high likelihood of dying.
Well,
You do, or Losen understands?
Well, I mean, we have become one and the same as of like 30 seconds ago. So
all right, so there is a mountain that no one climbs. It dominates the landscape with fear of the memories of what once lived there. But memories recede and rumor breeds, and the rumor is a rumor of gold. Someone will be the first to scale the White Peak. It will be someone who is greedy, stupid, or fanatical, but also perhaps lucky. This is where our adventure begins, at the base of this damnable mountain. The group has heard stories of the cult which used to reside atop the peak, a warning not severe enough to dissuade them from searching for the riches left behind. A narrow path extends out ahead of you, ascending to the summit.
All right. Well, Abraham, bearing the symbol of his god in front of him, which is a sun with a moon overlaid on top of it, the symbol of the all god. He pushes his way forward through the snow, and he urges his companions onwards, tells them to buck up and become brave like their fathers, lest their ancestors' spirits judge them harshly.
Losen steps forward and he says, I don't even know what we're doing here. Haven't you heard? No one climbs this mountain.
Say, we climb it where none have gone before, because we are mostly men of hardy stock.
Yes, mostly men.
Yeah,
Rhea will say from the
men my
shadows.
ass. I'm no man.
Oh, whoa.
I know, that's why I said mostly men.
All right, so the climb is long but relatively smooth. The air gets a bit thinner as you reach the dizzying altitudes of the mountain. The wind cuts through your coat and chills you to the bone, yet somehow you find the fortitude to press on. Ahead along the path, you catch the faint whiff of meat and hides. Rounding the bend, you discover the source to be a small cottage halfway up the mountain. A chaotic scene of meat, guts, fresh and dried blood, and animal skins fill the fenced-in yard in front of the house, while a small old man sits hunched over a wooden slab near the front door, carving something into its surface. And it's about early afternoon. You guys have been climbing for a good 6-7 hours at this point.
Okay. That's gross. I will step forward and say, the hell, butcher. Whoa. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
What brings you to the top of this forsaken mountain?
He turns.
We're halfway up the mountain.
Yeah, about halfway up. He turns his gaze towards you, and you can see that he's pretty old, though perhaps older than his years would imply. There seems to be a great weight on his shoulders. He stands up and begins walking towards you with a smile on his face and says, I don't get many visitors up here. It is good to see you. And he extends a blood and viscera-covered hand towards you to shake.
Losen says, we'd heard no one climbs the mountain. How long have you been here?
Oh, I've lived here my whole life. In fact, I've never left. I couldn't. There's too much to do.
So, So how long have you lived here?
Since I was a boy. I was born here.
Losin like turns to Alex and says, "This doesn't seem like a very helpful fellow."
Rhea, as you get closer, you're sort of near his yard. You can see that all of the animal skins have a name written on them in blood, as like their finger painted on in blood.
Okay, I'll slowly walk up to them, kind of run my hand down the finger painted names, and say, "What do these stand for, old man?"
Stand for, well, when I was young, there was a great evil that lived in this mountain. It was destroyed, but not before it had taken thousands of innocents. Piled in mass graves, no proper rites or markers, lost to the gods and human memory alike. No one cared. The evil was gone. That was all that mattered to anyone. But I remembered the faces. They were real men, real women, and they killed children too. They did things, and they had names, and I'll put every name I can find on a stone. I used to make cairns, statues, but there were too many dead. There are still. They had a list of names in their old meeting place. I copy 100 at a time. I'll never finish. I'm too old, and probably the only one left who remembers. So many.
All right.
What a sob story.
I'll
Alex kind of
continue.
walks over to like a little like a tree and starts taking a massive piss,
Okay.
Yeah, Abraham's like hand sort of
steaming in the snow.
drifts towards his crossbow, and he says, "And how do you live here? What sustains you on top of this mountain? How can you survive?"
He points to extends a bony arm towards the animal hides and the guts. There's also like racks of dried meat. He's clearly a hunter of some kind.
Okay.
The mountains always provided for us, but people have stopped coming. Understandably. No one should venture to the top of this mountain.
Say, and what good will carving people's names on animal hides do?
We'll put their souls to rest, I hope. Give them some bit of peace after what they endured. Alex, or Alexander, you're taking a piss near the tree. The tree looks normal, it's like a old pine tree. However, you're doing it near the fence, and you notice all the fence posts appear to be wood, but they're actually stone as you get closer.
Okay. Is that, I mean, remarkable in...
They appear to have like the grain of wood,
Okay.
but they're all stone.
I kind of, after I finish up, I poke one with my maul just because it seems pretty confusing.
Yeah, it makes a loud like think.
I grumble. Come on, let's leave the old man to his skins and knaves. We have treasure to find.
Say, in a minute, Alex. Old man, we ventured for the top, despite your warning. Tell us, what will we find there? If there are souls to be put to rest, us of stout heart will surely do it.
Please, I beg you, do not. I know what your conscience is telling you, that you must chase it. No, you can't, please. And he like falls to his knees and holds your like surcoat. Please, you cannot go up. It's not worth your souls.
So my hand is like gripping the hilt of my dagger, and I say, "Unhand me, peasant. Tell us, what will we reach at the top, or what will we see once we reach the top?"
He grabs your hand holding the dagger, and with surprising strength, stands up and meets you and looks you in the eye and says, "Death."
Losin
I'll wait for the academy to get in touch.
No, that was good. I like that.
yeah. Losin says, "Well, I'm sold. I'm not going up there."
So you're free to stay where you are, elf. Piss away your miserable life.
You.
I'll walk over to the old man. Ray will put her hand on his shoulder and say, "Well, If you don't venture up there anymore, where's this meeting place you speak of? Where are these names that you copy down?
He sort of sinks back to the floor and says, "A cabin at the top of the mountain. There's a book of names. I go and copy them and bring them here, and then bring the headstones back to the top."
So if you can venture up, why can't we?
I only go into the room with the book. It's as far as I'll go. The
In
noises.
the room with the book, it's not all the way at the top.
Yeah, it's in the cabin. He said, at the top of the mountain.
Do we have any money?
Let's assume you each have like 12 silver,
Okay.
enough
Well-
for like several meals and a couple nights at a tavern.
Okay, I'll say, come, man, take us to the top. Be our guide for this last bit of the journey. We shall pay you handsomely for your service.
He, no, please, you cannot go up. I know not what you'll do.
We just want to read from the book, of course. Continue your work. And I'll kind of give him like a sly smile.
I'll not take you there, but I'll not stop you.
I say, Bronhora watches over us, man. Perhaps you do not know of him, but his power is untold. We will not perish. We will cleanse this mountain of the evil that resides within it. Have faith.
He does not exist in that place. Bunhora.
I had to think of something like instantly, and
I like it.
it's okay.
So Alex kind of tugs at one of those stone wood fence posts to see if they're loose.
No, they're pretty far. They're well posted, you could say.
Okay.
If this
You might be
guy,
able to slide one of the sideways posts out, like the horizontal slats out. You might be able to loosen that and pick it up if you want.
if this guy or any of his stuff were like an illusion, would we be able to tell that?
You'd have to touch it. That would give you the chance to save against it.
But he already
so,
touched me,
Alex-
right? Like, I know he's real.
Yeah, he touched
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
So Alex, you also notice there are like tree branches on the ground. All of those have turned to stone as well.
Oh, the tree branches are stone?
And Alexander's the only
Yeah.
one who's known this.
The ones that are on the ground. The
Okay.
tree itself is perfectly normal.
Oh, really?
So don't take your shoes off.
Well, I don't know anything.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't know either.
Did my piss turn to stone when it hit the ground?
No.
It was stone when it came out.
Or did I have a kidney stone?
Alex steps to the side and passes a kidney stone.
And it turns to wood.
All right.
It's all Alex has ever known. He pisses a kidney stone every day, so he just thinks pissing is.
That's just
horrible.
what he knows, yeah.
It's just what it is.
That's how he was raised.
You might want to rethink your diet, Alexander.
That'll toughen you up.
Get some
His
cranberry
diet,
juice.
his diet is just booze and bones.
The man sinks back into his stool that he was carving on and just like puts his head in his hands and begins shaking them side to side, gently weeping.
Lawson says,
Here we go.
you said that the evil was driven from this place?
Yes. Hang on. Yes. When I was young, the clerics, they sealed it down below and drove the cultists away.
So, it sounds like there must be some way to protect yourself up there. If others have ventured up and vanquished some evil.
Long ago, and they've all left now. Just thrill seekers, treasure hunters, and rabble come. And
But you were there. You must know something of how they were able to survive the mountain.
I was only a boy. I don't know what they did.
Say, and how have you allowed hope to flee from your heart? Have you no humane qualities? Are you not a man of God, of the light, of faith?
The
Those
short
who do
answer
not
is no.
believe in hope must be put to the sword.
He looks at you, and you can see that, yeah, he clearly has no hope. He is a man awaiting his death.
While Losin and Abraham are talking to the old man, I will walk around to the racks of dried meats, so that the rack is between me and the old man, and pull out my dagger and start carving some off.
Okay.
And putting it in my pocket.
Cool. Yeah, you get like probably a day's worth of fresh, dried meat.
A day's worth for the group or just for Rhea?
Just for Ray. I mean,
I would only take for myself at this point.
All right. So you can write that on your gear.
Yep.
All right.
Meat.
Meat.
You can just write that on top of your character sheet.
And yeah, so Paul, from where you're standing, you can see the slab he was carving into. It's a piece of flat wood, and he's carving a name into it, and the name corresponds to the name that is written on a skin laying next to the slab.
Okay.
And that is wood.
Yep.
Regular wood.
Yeah, so I'll pick it up, kind of run it through my hands, and then absentmindedly toss it to the ground.
Okay. Yeah, he wasn't done with it, and he's a pretty shitty wood carver, in all honesty. And now that you're this close to his cabin, you can see inside. You can see his home is furnished with just the worst taxidermy you could imagine. Just
I don't know. I can imagine
awful.
some pretty bad
so bad
taxidermy.
they're actually all still alive.
Yeah.
That's step one. Kill the animal. He didn't get that one.
No, just nailed to the wall.
Um,
All right.
okay.
Shaking my head, I'll walk out to the rest of the group. This is pointless. Let's continue.
I say,
That's the first
Well.
good thing I've heard.
perhaps before we go, we could purchase some of your provisions.
Purchase. Take what you need. I'll not deny a man in need of a warm meal.
He's
I'll,
fresh out of hope, not
I'll-
generosity.
Yeah, I'll raise my eyebrows to Alex. It's quite
yeah,
chilly. And,
There's several like dried squirrels that are hanging up to dry in the sun. You could take.
Hey, maybe this old man's not so bad after all. So Alex kind of like goes over to the meat racks and starts kind of like filling his pockets.
Okay. Yeah, so
I
everyone
would-
can take up to 2-3 days rations if they want.
yeah, sure.
Sorry, Paul. Kind of
No,
pissed me
I-
off.
would say
I'll
I would-
insist on
I
paying
would
for
join
them,
Alex as well.
Okay.
and I'll
I've no need for coin. If you wish to give me a blessing.
say, of course, and I'll speak in some strange language and
Okay.
cut a drop of blood from my hand and push it to his forehead.
As you finish, he looks up and says, "Please consider those they've taken from us."
I will. Well,
Right.
farewell. We shall see you on the way down.
Okay, you can see him sort of sink back into his chair, take a deep breath, and then pick up the tablet Rhea dropped and begin carving anew.
Okay. He's not like carving our names, is he?
No.
Okay.
Well, you don't know.
I mean, if
run
I could
back.
peek, I'd peek.
You
But...
run back.
Actually, you guys never introduced yourselves. He
Oh,
doesn't know
okay,
you.
fair enough.
So you're off the hook.
Oh, I'll say, by the way, I'm Abraham, and this is Rhea, and Alex, and Lawson.
Damn it.
Not Zeke.
Damn you, Abraham!
This guy's actually just Taylor Swift, and he's about to bust into song.
He introduces himself as Ezekiel.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, biblical.
All right, I turn to my companions and Lawson says, "But the old man is quite insistent. Should we not consider retreat?"
Alex has like his pockets full of meat and his mouth full of meat, and they're like, "We're wasting daylight. Let's get moving."
I say, as we've said before, Lawson, if the spirit of man can't bolster you through this adventure, then you're more than welcome to head home to your forests and pretty prancing.
But if all the adventurers have already come and gone, there might be nothing left up there but death.
Nice callback.
Well, like I said, if you are fearful and the light of Bunhora has not touched your heart, turn back now. We have no need of cowards.
Well, why don't you explain to me about this Bunhora? Perhaps a 30 to 45-minute sermon would convince me.
So we have no time for that. I fear your lesser flesh would not be able to accept the blessings of such a greater deity.
So, light begins to fade as you continue hiking up the path towards the peak of the mountain. It's the sun is just beginning to set as you catch glimpse of a graveyard off in the distance. You can see the gnarled iron fence separating the peak from the headstones and crypts and mausoleums. As you ascend, you all take note that insects have sort of stopped their limited buzzing, seeing as you are in a mountain. But what few insects were on the ascent are no longer. The trees here are all dead. You don't see any lichen or moss growing on any of the rocks.
Okay.
Did we take any of that stone/wood with us?
Alex said he wanted to try and pick one up, but we didn't really chase that thread.
Okay.
But there, even still, there is there's bits of sticks and stuff on the ground that have turned to stone as well.
Okay.
You guys
I mean,
are about-
So if I notice one, I pick one up.
Is it just like reasonable for us to notice this as well as him?
I think.
I don't want to
know.
just be like, I'm walking along, staring at the ground, looking for anything unusual.
Yeah, that's fair. Alex hasn't said anything, so.
I mean, I don't think I would think about it hard enough to tell
say
them
something.
to like
That's
be
fine.
like, yeah.
That's fine. Lawson's pretty focused on not dying anyway, so he's not looking down at.
So you guys are about 60 feet. The path leads directly into the graveyard.
Is it like it's like fenced in or something?
Mhm.
Okay.
The fence is broken and twisted, though. You could enter almost anywhere.
And there's no like, is there snow on the ground? Is it?
Yeah, so there's a thin layer of snow, probably 2.5 inches, and there's also like a semi-thin crust of ice below that. So like it's very loud walking across it.
Okay, and there's no like footsteps or anything.
No, nothing you can hear.
No, I meant in the snow. There's no.
Oh no, nothing obvious.
I'll be on the lookout, kind of leading the way, trying to see if there is a specific house or a house that the old man mentioned below.
Okay,
In the,
yeah. So
in the graveyard.
Yep. So as you cross into the threshold of the graveyard at the peak, all wind and sound suddenly cease. As you take a few steps across the icy ground, you begin to hear an otherworldly, barely audible noise, almost like a nail being lightly tapped against a chalkboard, but never fully scraping across it. At the far end of the graveyard, a small cabin sits overlooking the headstones. You can see a small well just a few dozen feet from the front door.
Okay, I'm gonna pull out my crossbow.
I don't like it.
Well said, Alex. Well said.
Why is it so quiet?
All right.
He's also an orc from Lord of the Rings.
Exactly.
It's not far off, really.
All right. Well, Abraham's gonna say, we should be careful.
Careful. We should get out of here.
Grow some balls,
Yeah,
Lawson, and I'll kind of brush you off and continue down the path towards.
well,
the
no,
house.
no. Abraham's had about enough of this. We got to nip this in the butt. He's gonna turn on Lawson, and he's gonna point his crossbow at him and like cock it back and be like, "Listen, elf, we have no need for cowards here. If you won't buck up, then you might as well go home. And if you won't do either of those, then I'll kill you on the spot."
But I need some kind of assurance that this is worth my life.
I say, none can give you that except the gods. Now, make your choice, or be quiet about it.
Are you just a human?
Yeah, I'm a cleric. A human
Yeah,
cleric, yeah.
races are classes at this point. So
Yeah. No, you can only be an
Got it.
elf if you're the elf class, and everything else is humans.
Right,
Except,
you're
unless you're a dwarf.
Or
or an elf. Yep.
Got it. Okay. Lawson like looks thoughtfully down the point of your crossbow bolt.
As an elf would.
and he like raises his hand and like calmly pushes it to the side, and he says, "Very well, cleric. Since your faith is apparently strong enough to lead you here, I shall follow. But I warn you, if the pay ever becomes not worth the danger, truly I shall leave you, and you shall be without an interpreter."
Very well. If your cowardice cost me my life, then consider me exceptionally displeased.
All right.
So, Alex, so we show this lily-livered flower eater what it means to be human. Alex?
Also, Alex doesn't
Sorry,
want to show
I-
anybody what it means to be human because, you know.
All right. Well, Abraham is gonna pull his holy symbol out of his armor there onto his chest and take a step forward and listen if he can hear anything else.
Okay, yeah, it's eerily quiet, but the only sound you can hear is the sound of that like faint, otherworldly. It's not a scratching. It's hard to quite put your finger on what exactly it sounds like, but it's almost it's unnerving. It's a little unpleasant.
Is it just coming from around us, or?
Yeah, it's hard to tell. Do you want to search for it and see if you can find the source?
Yeah, definitely.
Roll a search check.
All right.
I think that's the only skill you have. Otherwise, it would just be default 1 and 6. And also, I think just for the viewer's sake, I told you guys this, but because this is a very deadly adventure, we're assuming this is a band of 8 adventurers, and the party is only playing 4 of them. And if anyone dies, a new one will come take his place, a la Final Fantasy VI.
Nice. All right, let's see.
Success.
I succeeded.
All right. So, you begin walking around the graveyard, your keen elf ears trying to locate the source of the sound, and you get the sense that it's coming from one section of the graveyard. Oh, my handout's disappeared again. God damn it. You begin shifting the snow, and instead of the familiar crunch, you hear a slight ting. Your foot connects with a small metal grate. Moving the snow aside, you can see a small 3-foot by 3-foot shaft extending straight down into the ground. As you move the ice away, the sound becomes much louder.
Okay, I call over my folks.
Mhm.
I say, "Hark! I have found a 3x3 shaft."
The cornerstone of any good adventure.
Yeah. So
Well-
as you gather around it, you can see that about 10 feet down, the entire shaft is choked with this strange substance. It's somewhat translucent, but it sort of shifts and shimmers, and the surface of it seems to shine like ice.
The grate?
Yeah, so about 10 feet down past the grate.
Oh, right. Okay. It's,
So it's like filled with this substance.
Can I just like
Probably.
pick up like a stick from the ground or something and like toss it down there?
yeah. Well, how? What's the spacing of the grate?
You know, you could definitely fit like a stick or a rock or something down there.
But
I
not
mean,
like
you could
a
also
head-
open it. It's
Not
not
like
locked.
your arm. Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah, you guys could open it.
Taking Loson's lead, I will actually put my hand out and say, "Hold on." I'll put my pack down, pull out the parts of a 10-foot pole, and start assembling them in front of him.
Good thing it's exactly 3x3x10.
There's a reason for this pole.
Yeah. So you can reach it.
Should check
It
and see if
seems
I have
to
any of those.
it seems to give a little bit when you touch it. It's not hard like ice.
is there
It
a smell to it?
I'll move the pole around to try to get a little on the tip of it, and then pull it out to examine further.
Okay. Yeah. It doesn't actually puncture, but when you pull the quarterstaff back, the end of it feels very cold, a little like colder than even the air that you're in.
You said
Very
it doesn't,
strange.
it doesn't smell?
I'll take out my dagger and start to lash it to the end of the pole.
Okay.
I'll hand you the pole at this point. Go ahead.
All right.
Take a shot.
I'll say step back. I'm about to do faith. All right. And I'll stick the pole down the grate and attempt to pierce this substance with the tip of the dagger.
Okay. So you stab downwards. It's kind of tough to get enough force to really puncture it. It
Yeah.
seems to have a like, despite it being what's the word I'm looking for? Despite it giving and sort of being pliable, it actually seems to resist the puncture of your dagger.
I'm imagining like a waterbed or something like that. Like
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Tough
Yeah.
rubber.
Yeah. And the one thing you do notice, Paul, is trying to stick the quarterstaff onto it without the dagger. It was slipping and sliding. You weren't able to really get a good jab on it because it was constantly like rolling off the top. If that makes sense.
Yep. No,
Okay.
it totally does.
And so,
Very strange.
do I pierce it?
No, it doesn't pierce. It does seem to like recede a little bit though, but eventually will sort of bubble back up.
If we could but harness this, we could probably market it for a fortune.
What, you want to market snot?
I'll cast a skeptical glance at Lawson.
Al has his finger like knuckle deep in his nose.
We've paired all the way
digging
down
around in
there. Al.
He's just paired down to Al. He picks out like a big gob. He's like, sell this, elf boy.
Loset looks at you like very seriously, and he says, "Do you mean to say, Alexander, that you believe that this is some sort of organism or living creature?"
He just kind of flicks a snot in your direction and goes, I don't know.
All right, so Andrew, what if I like stand up straight and just take the pole in both hands and just like really jab it in there?
Yeah. Okay. So take an attack roll.
Uh,
At -2 because you're using a dagger tied to a pole.
okay. I'm just gonna roll my
Bounces
regular
back
attack
up
and we
you
can.
smack yourself in the face.
Oh, that'd be great.
Oh, so attack rolls. I don't know. 4 is that good? I don't know how this works.
No. So it's just D20 for attack rolls. So you have to beat their armor class. D20 plus attack plus strength.
Okay.
Oh,
4 is not very good.
4 is not very
You're
good
on-
at all now.
you're rolling low for everything but attack rolls then?
Okay.
Yeah, it's OD&D.
Okay.
It's fucking confusing.
Does that have to make sense? Fuck you.
Think you're rolling low? Nope. Rolling high this time. All right. So yeah. Again, the dagger just doesn't seem to catch on, and after you jab it the last time, the dagger lashing comes loose, and the dagger snaps off and falls on top of the surface.
But it's still there. It's just sitting on the surface.
Yeah.
One lost dagger.
I'll bend down and kind of watch it for a few minutes. Does this oozy, slimy thing absorb the dagger, or does it actually sit on the surface forever? Or as long as I'm watching it?
Yeah. So it sort of just sits on the surface.
Okay.
Sorry, is there... You just kind of kicked open this... We just found this grate accidentally.
I don't even think we opened it. I think it's still
No,
closed.
I was
Oh, so-
searching for the sound, the source of the sound, and I found like a mound of snow where it sounded louder and moved it aside and found the grate and saw the substance down at the bottom of the grate.
But this graveyard isn't necessarily supposed to be some sort of entrance to anything, is it?
You don't know. It's
Not
rumored
yet.
that.
I mean, there's a cabin, but
But I mean, like, this isn't necessarily our destination.
No, I don't think so.
We don't know.
Okay.
But the sound is definitely louder coming down that grate.
Oh, the like scratching.
yeah, the little tapping.
Yeah, it sounds almost like a song.
Like a
But-
song.
Yeah, but you still
Oh, it's like
can't.
DJ scratching, like the scratched record.
Yeah.
Doom.
That's my beatboxing.
Okay.
It's gonna get good.
This is MF Doom.
I don't I don't know. Listen, Lawson, Rhea, you guys are the smart ones. Why don't you figure out what to do here? Bunhor, she doesn't give a shit about this. You guys figure it out.
Well, we have not the information. We should see if there's another grate or perhaps an entrance in the basement of this cabin.
So this grate is in the graveyard, is that right?
Yeah.
And the cabin is also in the graveyard?
Yeah, the cabin is sort of at the opposite end of the graveyard you
It's
entered
the
from.
yard for the cabin.
Okay,
And
well,
you guys are maybe like 20% across the graveyard.
We should be careful that there's not more entrances like this. They might be less stable. We should perhaps use the pole to make sure our path is clear.
Good idea, Abraham. Perhaps you would care to lead the way.
Okay. So as the party continues to pick their way through the graveyard, there's still that eerie quiet, that's taken over the top of the mountain. You can see a small form, semi-covered in snow, off to the south of the path. It appears to be two hands sticking up out of the snow.
Wait, it's coming. Oh, we're coming upon a small form. It's not coming toward us.
No, it's like laying down on the ground. You can see two
Right.
small hands poking up out of the snow. It looks like there's a body covered in a dusting of snow.
It seems the old man was right. Many have died here.
It's a fucking graveyard.
Probably just a statue. That fell
Everyone
off.
but us is dead
Gods.
here.
Like his name is just A now.
We certainly hope so. We certainly hope so, eh?
It's
Okay. Well, Abraham is tired of your prissy elf shit, and he's gonna step forward and poke this body with the stick.
Okay, yeah.
You don't know there's a body, there's just hands.
Yeah, so there is a body. It's dressed in a white like nightgown almost. Like it's wearing sleeping wear, night shirts, like loose fitting pants, no shoes, and it has an expression of outright horror on his face.
Of course, he does.
You don't often see outright horror.
There are footsteps also leading to the body that are lightly covered by the snow, and they lead towards the cabin.
How long would it have taken for the footsteps to become only like this amount of covered?
Well, there's ice below, so there's a small depression in the ice. You don't think it snowed that much. He's only covered by, like an eighth of an inch, if that.
We're talking like a year, a day, a week, 10 years.
Couple days maybe.
Okay.
Between a couple
days,
days and a couple months.
Does the body look like it's been dead only that long?
The body looks like it's been dead. It looks relatively fresh, but it's also very cold up here, so it's kind of hard to tell. But you can look the tops of the tombstones. They also look very lightly covered in snow. Like the wind, it looks like just moves all the snow as it lands off the top of the mountain.
Okay.
Is it a human?
Yeah, it's a human.
Is it a child?
No, just a full-grown man.
Hmm.
Full blown.
oh man.
Well,
I'll bend down and kind of like knock on him. Is he frozen solid, petrified?
It's a man.
Yeah, it's a man.
yes, full-blown man.
Full blown.
He's not frozen solid or petrified or anything like that. It just looks like he maybe died of hypothermia or a heart attack. He doesn't look like he's been stabbed or wounded, obviously.
All right, seeing that there's nothing strange going on here, Rhea will immediately start searching his pockets for anything useful.
Okay, yeah, but wait. He's in his pajamas.
Mhm.
Isn't that a little strange to you, Rhea?
Does he have anything useful in him?
Nothing
Can I
on
use-
him.
Is he wearing
yes.
shoes?
Nope, no shoes.
No.
Yeah, see, like, there's something going on here because, like, people don't usually roll around in the tops of mountains, snow-covered mountains in their underwear.
Well, but he
and,
could have like
Wait,
he
they
could have
don't?
run out of the cabin.
I mean, there's a house over there, is there not? Maybe
Yeah,
he came
and the
out for a
footsteps are
midnight
leading.
stroll.
The footsteps are leading towards the cabin.
Yeah, I mean he could.
They're not his footsteps, right? They're someone else's.
Make a bushcraft check.
I think that'd be
The
tough.
Bushcraft
1d6
check.
and your wisdom. It's a 1 in 6, and if you have a good wisdom modifier, that
All
would
right,
help it.
let me see how we can do this here.
I mean, if I found if I was coming this way and found a fully clothed, well-equipped body, I'm sure I'd strip it down. Doesn't mean he died that way.
So that's not good, right? Because I'm supposed to roll low.
Yeah, you don't know exactly whose footsteps those are.
Okay. Wait, can I see
But
like which way they point?
Yep, they're away from the cabin
To his body.
to his body.
Right.
Okay.
Perhaps
So-
he was sleepwalking or something else.
Wait. Somebody suggested that he was stripped of his valuables. Does that seem possible? I mean, like you wouldn't wear pajamas like underneath your.
He's not wearing socks.
We check, but his family jewels are intact.
Yeah, he's not wearing socks. If someone stripped him of his valuables, like it seems unlikely they would take his shirt, his
Yeah.
boots.
He's still got his heaven sent jewels.
Right. He has no hat or cloak on.
Perhaps he saw something in the cabin that he needed to
Frightened
flee
him,
bit of a
from.
frightened him thither.
Feared him to
Frightened
death.
him to death.
Oh, what a
What do
shirt.
you guys do?
Well, what do you think?
You're deferring to him?
Yeah, I'm deferring to Alex.
I forgot that I'm A now.
What does it matter what A thinks? It's clear we must go to the cabin.
I think we're wasting our time traipsing around graveyards.
Losin, I think I actually agree with you this time. Okay, I'll start making my way towards the cabin.
Great.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
I follow.
The stone cabin, it seems to sag beneath the weight of the snow above it. The walls are scrawled with intricate runic carvings, seemingly in ancient language of some sort.
The outside walls or the inside walls?
The outside walls. So there's basically like 3 steps leading up to a small front porch with a door leading into the cabin.
Say,
Another smaller door further down the porch.
I'd like to run my hand across the carvings and try to determine what language this is.
Okay. Make a languages check, which is a skill.
Yep.
Do it.
Nope.
Nothing. All right. Yeah.
No.
You think it's a long dead language, and you're not able to identify it. Certainly don't know how to speak it.
Not in my lifetime could I ever figure out what this is.
All right.
say, Lawson, don't you have some sort of fairy trickery?
I do. All right, Lawson steps up.
It's
up
about
to the
time.
cabin walls. Lawson steps up and he says, "Here, Rhea, perhaps I can be of assistance." And he like softly runs his hands along all the runes, like tracing
Listen,
each
I
curve.
want you to figure out what it says, not make love to it.
Lawson turns and gives you a dirty look, and he says, "Now I have to start over," and he starts all over again.
All right.
But I want to use my. I guess they're basically the same. Yeah, I'm going to use my comprehend languages.
Okay. Cool. And how long does that last?
It lasts 1 turn /
All right.
level.
Okay. Cool. So that lasts 2 minutes.
Okay.
Cool. So you cast comprehend languages, and suddenly the language seems to make sense to you. You're able to pick out phrases and words. Sure, I'll give it to you. You think the language is called Duvan Ku. It's an old dead language that is no longer. I'll type that out in the chat for you real
Sure.
quick. It's a dead language, no longer used, seemingly ascribed to a religion or worship around this deity that is no longer in existence. Most of it is just useless babble. It's like phrases such as "look upon the 7 faces of immensity," "look upon the breaker of all things," "the 5th octacle," "the cycle of servitude and elevation," things that don't really stand out. But you do get the sense that they all sort of formed a like arcane barriers. At one time, this may have been a fort or a holdfast of whoever believed in this religion. There's a bunch of names that keep being mentioned as well. All of them are indicated to be resting in splendor below, gracing this place with death and that which they liberated from life. It's sort of weird, but it lists 6 names, 7 names.
Is there do any of them happen to look reminiscent of the carvings from the old man?
No, they're all like sort of twisted, almost humorous names in a way. The Twin Inquisitors, Estherat Nex and Gorgulus Nex, Vorgan Pax, Nazir Anazat, Atheldred Aleph, Everek Narn, Praetor Pontifex, Cyrus Carnithax. They're kind of like weird names. They stand out.
Yeah, those are weird.
Yeah.
My uncle was named Cyrus Carnifex, actually.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, so Rhea's there with me, and I read her some of these names. I say, "What do you make of it, Rhea?"
Some weird parents naming their children weird names. I mean, I got nothing.
Very well.
Some-
Abraham, Alexander, if you wish to join us, there are several names and some sort of some sort of barrier here. Perhaps this was
Yes,
a place of safety.
Cyrus Carnifex of the Rhode Island Carnifexes.
So you don't get the sense that any of the runes or arcane symbols are still active. You think they've long been inert.
Right. I say, Abraham, you're a religious man.
True,
Have
true.
you seen aught like this before?
Well, I seldom dabble in pagan rituals, but I'll take a look. I'll look them over. I guess I can't understand them, right? Because he.
No,
No, but I
they
can
seem
read
totally
them to you. I can just
Sure,
literally,
yeah.
like,
I'll have
translate
them read
out
them to me
you.
and see if I can make heads or tails of it.
Okay. Yeah, they're clearly, based on what he's saying, it seems like they had a significance in the religious sense towards some dark cult, but you're not really able to tell anything. Like the translation makes it very difficult for you to glean anything more.
Okay.
So, what do you make of it, Abraham? Should we enter a place such as this?
I say,
Come so
Bunhora
far.
favors the bold, elf. Step inside.
All right, lead the way, Bunhora follower.
While you guys are kind of, going back and forth, Alex starts walking towards the entrance.
Great. Okay, Alex, you grab a large handle and push the door inward. The door gives easily, surprisingly easily, and then you see to your shock that it is
Most
not
things
attached to
do.
any hinges. It falls forward into the room with a deafening crack.
This happens
echoing-
often. Most doors
Okay.
cannot stand Alex's style of entry.
Yeah. So you enter a large room, the largest in the cabin. A desk stands on the far wall with a chair pushed out slightly facing the front door, and a massive tome resting atop it. A
Whoa.
fireplace is set.
The book.
What?
Go ahead. Sorry.
So a fireplace is set into the northern wall, featuring a stag head trophy mounted above it. 2 chairs below the stag's head are turned towards to face the front door as well. The far corner of the room has a large, ornately carved mirror standing on stone legs. Before the fireplace is a large trapdoor in the floor bound with an iron padlock, and a large, ornately carved water clock is mounted on the wall next to you. One door out of the room is open on the southern wall.
Oh, okay.
Is the water clock running or empty or?
It's frozen?
Yeah, the water clock is running, and you can hear its slow tick as you move through the room. However,
What-
the time lists 8:30 seemingly a.m. It's a 24-hour clock.
I just want to. How like? What are the capacities on those types of clocks?
What do you mean?
Like how often would you would have to fill it, right? It's like
Mhm.
so like how often would you have to?
Oh, so there's a well outside you guys didn't explore. So maybe it's connected to the underground stream that feeds the well.
But you'd have to like put
The snot stream.
the water hot. Like someone would have to put it up high, right? Doesn't it work through like?
Yeah, I think so. So I think someone has to fill it over some certain amount of time.
Stop questioning the physics of this
Sorry.
world's water.
I don't write the
clocks.
adventure guys. I
I
don't
was
know.
wondering if I was just wondering if anything like that would just be like, oh, someone's been here recently or not, in a way that someone as stupid as Alex would even notice.
Gotcha. You're not totally sure. You know that the time is definitely wrong. So anyone maintaining it doesn't even have the basic sense of, what time it should be. It's night, and this lists it as morning. So you're not sure, but yet it seems to tick on. Yeah.
Okay, well, so before we get too far ahead of us, I want to look at the hinges of the door.
Yeah. So it looks like they've rusted off over time. Like the actual joints connecting them rusted off.
All right, so something doesn't add up to me here, guys. This guy, the footsteps, they go right up to the door,
There's no snow on the porch.
but
They
the
go
foot-
right
do
to the
they go right to
stairs
the porch?
or whatever. Yeah, they do. Okay.
Are there any windows on the porch? Are there any other possible
Yeah.
entrances to the house?
Yeah, there are windows. The windows, they sort of seem to be like frosted a little bit, and they give off sort of like a dull white smoke, like dry ice almost.
Like
Would it
there's
have
those, like-
taken? Sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just
yeah,
going to ask if it would have taken the strength of Alex to really like rip the door right off its hinges. Like if I had just like pushed it open, would it have swung normally?
No, it's you don't think it was always a stone door. You think the door actually used to be wood, so it's very thin. So you think you could probably pick it up and put it back if you wanted to.
Okay.
But now it is stone.
Yeah.
So it would be a lot heavier than the hinges were made to support, maybe.
Right, but
the-
it's also
And they're
it's
also
much
rusty.
thinner than a stone door has any right to be. You know, it's only like an inch.
Just a
inch and half.
regular door, but yeah, like stone. Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Examining the door, I'll walk along or around the house, kind of looking at where the house touches the ground specifically, and if the wood or the foundation is stone, or the wood has turned to stone around the foundation.
Yeah, so you see that the whole cabin is stone, but it bears the grain of wood, as Alex saw earlier. And you see a window at the back of the cabin that has footsteps at the base of it that then carry off into the graveyard, eventually leading towards the corpse.
So it looks like he jumped out the back window.
So Lawson's gonna I mean, I guess like while you're examining or whatever, when he walks in, he's gonna stride purposefully across the room to examine the tome.
Okay. Yeah, so you can see that the tome has a few bloody fingerprints on the cover, and it is, yeah, let's say your spell is still active. You can read the title as clear as day. You know it's not written in common, but you can see that the title is That Which Was Given.
Is it written in Duvanku?
No, the book is written in several different languages. You can see that you know, looking through, you can see that every page is dated. And so just flipping through casually, the calendars it runs through don't seem to make sense or line up, indicating that this book has been in use for a long, long time. There are millions upon millions of names in the book, almost the size of your torso. And as you get towards the back, you can see the last few pages. There are fingerprints, bloody fingerprints next to each of the names, assumingly that Zeke has carried down the mountain with him.
Right. So when did he say the last time he had been here? Did he mention how recently it was? No, he didn't.
He does say he does. He takes 100 names at a time, so presumably that gives him enough time to. Make the
Right,
trips
but how does he
infrequent.
get inside if he doesn't go through the front door?
Well, maybe
are
he
you
does.
looking at the windows?
He could go
Abraham,
through
you said you were looking at the windows. So getting close, you can see that if you actually touch the window, it's much colder than the snow or icy ground. You think the windows themselves are actually ice.
The windows are made of ice.
Made of ice.
Perhaps they're not always there.
But how would they come to be without somebody replacing the ice panes?
Perhaps someone does.
So, Alex, as you guys spend time in the room, the clock hands seem to march inexorably towards the next hour, and as they do, two small houses carved into the top of the clock suddenly open, and two taxidermied birds begin waddling along a small track, pushing tiny marbles. They play a small tune as they march down the track, and then when their beaks meet, they stand upright, squawk, turn around, and begin pushing their marbles back the track towards their houses.
So it's just a cuckoo clock.
This was the water clock or a different
Yep.
clock?
This is the water clock.
And it struck what, 9? You said it was 8 something?
Top of the yeah, so it struck 9.
What's the date on the last entry in the book? The bloody
It's about 50
fingerprint.
years ago.
50?
50. 50.
50.
Wow.
50. Hmm.
Would I have been able to notice the quality of the taxidermy birds?
Right.
that
Yeah,
came
that's
out
what I was
of
going to
the
ask.
clock?
Do they?
Yeah, they're pretty well done. It seems like. You know, they're definitely missing some bits of flesh, and you know they were made quickly, but they definitely don't look like what you saw in Zeke's cavern. Sorry, cabin.
So Zeke mentioned nothing about somebody living up here, though, right?
Mhm.
So this guy lived in the cabin the whole time, came from somewhere else on the mountain and moved in within the last 50 years, or passed Zeke and came up the mountain past him.
So wait,
within the last 50
we're
years.
pretty sure that the corpse has been here for a while, right? That like we just can't tell because is that
Not that long, probably less than a year.
No, yeah, that's my point. I don't think it has been here very long. I think that
I tell you what, Abraham, you're a healer. Make a wisdom check. So just roll a d20 below your wisdom.
Yeah, is that below my wisdom?
What's your wisdom? I thought your wisdom was pretty high.
Yep, that is my wisdom.
It is. Okay, right on the button. Yeah, so we'll take that back. We'll retcon it a little bit. You have a pretty good idea. You think the corpse has only been here for 2, maybe 3, 4 weeks at the most.
right. So theoretically, Zeke hasn't been here in 50 years.
No, probably more like a month, maybe. But you think that he mentioned a long time ago the cult stopped operating. So the name stopped 50 years ago, and he's been coming back trying to write the names onto tombstones for the dead.
Okay, right.
Okay.
Okay, but here's the thing. How long does it take to door hinges to rust, especially in a cold environment like this? I would imagine a long time.
Right. Well, either time's moving differently here, or the fact that these windows may be like removable or, like
How
traversable.
how warm is it inside this this room?
Pretty cold. It provides you shelter from the wind, but the air is still
Below
biting
freezing,
cold.
right?
No, not quite. Water doesn't seem to freeze. Like you have water skins that haven't frozen.
Okay.
The water clock.
Okay. So then these.
Hearing,
The water clock is running.
Yeah.
hearing Losen and Abraham quibble back and forth, I want to take a look at the water clock in a little bit more detail. Does it have a seconds hand?
No, it only has a minute and hour hand.
Okay, so I'll stare at it for what I would perceive to be 1 minute. I'll count it off in my head to see if the hand moves at the same rate as I would assume it would.
Oh yeah, so it after 40 seconds or so, the minute hand seems to shift, and if you count for another minute passes.
Is there like a chair and table?
Yeah, there is a desk with a chair and 2 sort of more like lounging chairs under the fire.
Okay, Alex kind of like slumps down in the chair and starts unpacking his booze. And just getting into
And also, this room has 1 exit to the south. It's an open door leading further into the cabin.
Okay, yeah, I'll look through the door and see what's in there.
Okay. It seems to lead to what used to be a kitchen pantry. There's empty shelves and cabinets, and not much in the way of food, obviously. Let me get the map up real quick.
Yeah, I was going to
and-
ask for a map.
And there are 3 doors. No, actually, I think it specifically says don't give your players any maps.
Oh, okay.
Are we going to sit on this one image the whole time, or are we?
No, so once we
Okay,
move
that's
forward,
fine.
we'll
That's fine.
Yeah. So the kitchen pantry is connected to has 3 doors leading off of it, as well as a back door leading out the back of the cabin. One of the doors is open and is it seemingly accesses a bedroom.
So can you reiterate the steps you said led to a back window? Was that what it was? I was confused by that.
So basically, the cabin is sort of a rectangle shape, and the porch is the entire eastern wall, and that has
Right.
the main door on it. So the
Mhm.
main door is on the northern side of the cabin, and the pantry is on the southern side of the cabin and connects to some bedrooms, like a sitting room and all that. So you are in the northern side of the cabin moving. Does that make
But
sense?
yeah, Losen, when I walked around the cavern, it did seem that the steps came or were first appeared below one of the windows in the back of the cabin.
The back
So,
door
like-
of the cabin. Sorry, I must have been unclear.
Yeah, so it does seem like either he jumped out or
But
crawled.
the back
I didn't-
meaning like where the bedrooms are beyond the pantry, or
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Interesting.
You know what? I could show this. This is fine. I could show you this. There's nothing.
I mean, we could just draw it if that's.
yeah. No.
That's-
There's nothing here. Ignore the secret shaft.
To area 7 and 28. Oh my god. Okay, no, this is much more
Yeah. So you guys
Helpful.
are in room F right now.
right.
Yep.
The door to room G was open.
Oh no! Wait, that body we found was dead.
Dun dun dun!
Whoa!
Dun, dun,
Right.
everyone.
Oh,
So we entered through the top part by the moose head.
yes.
Yeah,
Down here. Okay, and the feet are like out a window, like somewhere.
The bottom of it. See that door to the south?
Yeah, like down.
Did you see
Okay.
the feet? The what?
The
footsteps.
footsteps.
Oh.
The footsteps are like down on the bottom somewhere. Like you know. Oh, I can't do that. Oh well, never mind.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we should perhaps explore the rest of this cabin.
Yeah, how about it? Al's drinking.
I'll agree. I agree, Lawson. I'll kind of go through and open all the doors.
I wish
That
to go
are
to
closed.
H.
Okay,
But
so-
I won't. Yeah, we won't enter. I won't enter the rooms. I'll just open all the doors and.
Good idea.
As you guys move closer to the back of the cabin, you begin to hear, faint harpsichord music, like a piano gently playing. It's almost inaudible, but you can definitely hear it coming from somewhere. As you open all the rooms, you see 2 bedrooms, as well as a small sitting room with a large painting and a harpsichord. Paul, as you open the door, you glance at and you see the harpsichord. The music suddenly stops.
One of those.
Interesting. I'll close the door.
Everyone
again.
else can continue to hear it though, but you guys obviously don't know that.
I'll close the door again to see if it starts going.
It does.
Okay. Open it again.
Yeah, it stops.
All right. I like. Sorry, words. I motion to Rhea to stand there for a moment, and I step inside the room and close the door behind me.
Okay, yeah. So you, if you're looking at the harpsichord, you can hear it, or you can't hear it. As soon as you look away, even in the room, you turn around and you begin to hear the music begin to pick up again.
Ooh.
Listen, now that you're in the room, you notice the painting is quite exquisite. You can't quite put your finger on why, but something about it really, strikes you. And as you look at the subjects of the painting, there are 4 figures. Actually, let me get to that
Image.
Sorry. Yeah, there are 4 figures standing before an altar, and there's a tall gray skeleton looming above it. And there's an open door leading into a dark tunnel behind the skeleton in a crisp but medieval style. And as you glance closer, you can see yourself. You seem to be drinking from a goblet under a pillar of light. And looking at the other 4 figures, you can see that it's Rhea, Alexander, and Abraham. Abraham seems to be holding a large assortment of orbs filled with this strange, clear liquid.
Sorry, what were you looking into?
A painting.
Painting.
So the painting has this depicted.
Yeah.
Us doing this stuff.
But sorry, did it look like it was depicted, or did it change to depict it?
No, as soon as you noticed it, it hasn't shifted or moved. It's just a painting.
And
All
this
right,
is
so Lawson stumbles backwards and grabs for the handle of the door and like throws it open and says, Rhea, look at this.
What do you mean? I'll walk in and kind of look around the room.
Okay. Yeah, so you see the same thing and eventually notice yourself in the painting. You seem to be looking on in adoration as Abraham handles all of these glowing, spherical baubles.
Yeah, she is. I'll walk over to the painting, kind of put my hand on it,
Whoa.
and kind of sway my hand through it and see if the paint's dry.
An alarm goes off. Please
Yeah.
stay at least 1.5 feet away from the painting at all times.
The painting is, perfectly dry. It sort of gives, like it normally would, pressing your hand into a canvas, and the texture feels right. It creates the familiar sound as you draw your hand over it. Everything about it seems normal.
Well, this is awkward. I'll pull out my dagger
Uh-huh.
and run it along the edge of the painting, kind of lift it up. To
Okay,
see,
yeah.
see if there's anything behind it.
There's a wood stretcher fitting it into this really nice engraved frame.
And I assume as we're looking at the painting that the harpsichord music is playing.
Yeah.
Oh,
As
nice.
long as no one's looking at it. As long as you're not looking at it, you can hear
Yeah, we're not-
anyone
we're not looking at
individually. So like if Al turned around and looked at it, he would stop hearing it. You 3 would continue to hear it.
Wait, I thought this was in a different room than the main room.
It is.
Yeah. So
It
you're
is.
in room I right now.
It's an I.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm still in the
You're an F.
F.
The sitting
Yeah.
room. Okay.
Is anyone else in F?
Nope.
am I-
You're alone.
Just drinking away.
Good to know.
Yeah, he's just drinking.
Um,
I'm using
Looks-
the,
So I
I'm
wanna- I
using
wanna
the wa-
inspect the
every time
painting.
the water clock
Okay.
moves forward a minute, I take another sip.
Okay.
Just doing a power hour.
This is a complicated game for me.
Rhea will turn to Losen. Losen, what do you make of this? It seems just like a regular painting to me, but how would they, like, why are we depicted on it?
Well, I have no answer for you, Rhea, other than what the old man said, that we wouldn't be safe up here. Somehow, some cursed thing has managed to capture our images. For what foul deed, I don't know, but whatever we're doing in that painting, it can't be good.
Say, is this all it takes to unman you, Lawson?
I'm not a
picture?
man, damn it.
I know. I'm painfully aware. I want to inspect the painting.
Lawson like turns in anger away from the conversation and slams his hands down on the keys of the harpsichord.
Oh wow.
Okay. Yeah. So it makes a sound echo throughout the chamber. Otherwise, nothing happens. The harpsichord has obviously stopped and replaced by Al. You're suddenly woken up by a loud boom in the harpsichord room.
Yeah, actually, Al, like a few moments later, Al stumbles in and he goes, "You guys partying without me back here?"
You were partying with us up there.
So Al, as you pass by room H, you can see several possessions scattered on the floor near the bed, as well as on top of the bed itself.
Hey. So Al does not make it to room I. He's diverted into H.
Okay.
And mumbling, never mind about the party.
So this room contains the abandoned belongings of the corpse outside. That's clear enough. There's a wardrobe, a bedpan, a large pack in the corner, slippers at the foot of a bed with a comfortable-looking bedroll on it, and a footlocker with a book, quill, ink, and a sheathed short sword resting atop it.
Is there a window in this room?
Yeah, there is.
And is it also just a full ice window?
Yeah. You kind of flick it with your gauntleted finger, and it taps, and it doesn't tap like glass. It's sort of like, it feels a bit more solid.
Can you give me the quick rundown of what was in the room again? Sorry.
Yeah, sure. It was a wardrobe, a bedpan that's not full, a large pack in the corner.
Oh, not full.
Wait, not full? Is it like partially full?
Leave that up to you to decide. Slippers at the foot of bed with a comfortable-looking bedroll on it, and a footlocker with a book, quill, ink, and a sheathed sword on top of it.
So he did have shoes.
I immediately go for the sword and see if it's looks like it's worth anything.
Not particularly well made. It looks like it's definitely chipped and hasn't been properly sharpened in a good while, but it's functional.
All right, I'll hang on to it, but
Okay.
And then I guess I'll start making my way towards the rest of the group. I'll let him know as much that our friend out there left all his stuff here.
Was it placed like he just left it, or like was it?
Yeah, so the bedroll is laid out on top of the bed. He didn't disturb the covers. He just sort of laid everything out on top of it. He's got a pillow that is still there, although obviously freezing at this point. But it looks like his clothes, even the wardrobe, for example, his clothes are like folded in the wardrobe. It looks like he had been like unpacking for the night, but left in a hurry. Clearly, his slippers are right next to his bed and left there.
And the window here is the window.
Exactly the same as the window in the other room.
It's not good.
It's not good? In what
actually,
way?
You're right, Kevin. I should have changed the scene earlier. My bad.
Oh, that's all right.
Sorry, dude.
I mean, it's ruined.
Yeah.
Maybe he couldn't find the outhouse.
There is no outhouse, damn it.
All right, so I want to look at this painting a little closer. I know you had said the things that were in it, but it might be important. So I wanted to. I didn't have a clear mental image of it. Can you say it again?
Yeah, sure. There's in the background. It's a large dark backdrop, almost like they're in a room. There's a skeleton, like a statue of a large gray skeleton painted on the back wall, and seemingly a tunnel behind the skeleton extending out into the darkness.
Okay.
In the foreground are 4 figures. Abraham, you're holding several of these spherical baubles filled with this translucent liquid. You seem to look very. The look resembles a preacher at your temple giving a sermon. You look very enraptured with what you're doing. You can see Rhea looking on in adoration. You can see Alexander in the corner with his arms folded, looking particularly menacing and intimidating. And Losan is off to the side, under a beam of light, drinking from a golden goblet.
And no hint of anybody else other than this gray skeleton.
Well, the skeleton is very large. You don't think it's living. It seems more like carved into the back of the altar.
Right.
Okay. Well, that's weird.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of weird. So I like slammed my hand down on the harpsichord. There was a bang. If I look away, the music just continues again, I assume.
Yep.
All
Your
right.
sound continues naturally, like the echo sort of fades out over time. But otherwise, yeah.
Losen like stumbles out of the room, a little bit upset. Would anyone care to inspect her obvious mood, or his mood rather? And he excuse me. He walks back through the main door and pushes the front door of the cabin open and runs out onto the snow towards the dead body.
Okay. So while you're doing that, what does everyone else do? So Abraham's by the painting. Rhea, where are you? We haven't touched in with you in a while.
Yep, being a thief, I am going to try to search the cabin for anything of value, specifically looking, getting on my hands and knees, looking under the bed, kind of running my hand underneath the bed, underneath any of the other objects in the room.
So while you're doing that, Losen, as you pass through the main room, you see all the chairs in the room have turned towards the southern door.
The door where all the bedrooms and stuff are.
Right. So before they were facing the front door, now they seem to be facing the southern door. Rhea, what room are you searching?
I will be searching J currently, the bedroom.
Okay. Yeah. So this room is relatively nondescript. Roll a search check. Next to the bed, you see a small pouch, and it's made from some animal hide, and it's filled with this deep purplish black powder.
Okay. I'll pick it up, kind of dip my hands in, run it through my fingers, give it a smell to see if I can identify the substance.
Okay. You think this is... make an intelligence check.
Intelligence. 7.
Success?
Yeah, it's below 10. Yep.
Oh, the search was okay. Yeah, cool. All right, great. Yeah, so you've spent a lot of time in the more unsavory circles of society, and you think you've seen this before. It's purple lotus powder. It's a strange drug, which people the word on the street is that it can give you the power of a god, but everyone you've seen on it has been a shivering, manic, lecherous mess. So you're not sure you believe the tales.
Interesting. I'll walk over to Abraham and kind of hand it to him and go, "This is interesting. You want to take a look?"
Yeah, I'll take a look, but it just seems like some junky bullshit.
Nice.
Or what do I think, Andrew?
Yeah, so you think that some religious cults and tribes use drugs and narcotics in their ceremonies. Maybe it has something to do with that.
Like peyote or something.
Maybe.
Let's say no true man of faith would dull his senses to reach his God. It's the way of tricksters and lies. This is rubbish. You should toss it aside, Rhea. Never look back. As Abhora or Bunhora always says, say no to drugs.
Yes, Ben-Hur does not pay the bills either. This could be worth something on the street to the right person. I'll pocket it.
So listen, you ran out into the snow towards the dead body.
Yeah, the only thing I want to interject, having seen the chairs, is as I'm on my way out, I shout over my shoulder something horrible is happening here. Let's go.
Okay.
I
anyway,
want to run over to the dead body. That's all.
Okay. Alexander, what are you doing?
So Al is kind of late to the party, and he just found the painting. He came into that room, and so he is completely fascinated by it. He's like getting way up close to like see himself in it, and he's also kind of doing like what you would do in a mirror, thinking it would
Right.
react to him, but it's not. You know, right? Or I'm guessing it's not. It's just a painting.
Mhm.
Is it just
But
a painting?
he's getting like he's pressing his face up to it, and he's kind of like poking at himself in the painting, and he's like, "I can't believe it."
All right.
Yeah. I want to. Can I take the painting off the wall?
Yeah, it comes right off the wall. You could remove the it has like a plain wooden stretcher in the frame that you could take out as well. So you
Okay.
can separate the stretcher from the actual engraved frame.
The frame is engraved. You said with what? In words or?
It's copper,
Yeah.
so it's like a very light, pliable metal.
Okay.
And it's not engraved with words, just patterns and floral, patterns and ribbons and stuff.
I turn to Al and say, "Seems the elf finally lost his medal."
Are you taking the painting off the wall?
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm like, hey, I was watching that.
I'll just shrug and sort of put it back.
Wait, where'd the elf boy go?
He ran outside. Perhaps he thought the corpse might make better company.
Yeah, he's gonna make better company for the corpse.
All right, so
Yeah.
the only
Probably.
areas you really haven't explored of the cabin are his possessions, the man's possessions, and there is a large trap door in the main room covered by a padlock
Right. Okay. Back out in the front.
in the main hall under the stag head. Yeah, probably there was like some sort of carpet or something covering it at one point, but no longer.
And what's with this
Yeah.
big old moose head here in this room? Is that?
Yeah, it just looks like a large head of an elk.
I was gonna say Rhea would probably go room to room and just search at that point, ending at the trapdoor.
Okay, sure. Yeah, inside the room with his belongings, you can see he has a pack full of supplies. You can dig through, as well as a footlocker. The footlocker contains a purse that has 26 silver in it.
Hmm.
And
Pocketing that.
the book is apparently the diary of someone named Norquist Orwe.
I'll pick it up, flip through it. Is it written in common? Can I read it?
Mhm. Yep. It documents his exploits. He apparently is an accomplished mountaineer. You can see towards the end he arrived at the base of this mountain a couple weeks ago, and it documents his ascent and a path up the mountain that is different from what you took. So he describes an alternate way down the mountain, as well as the last entry describes. It says the trees on this mountain seem almost agonized, and then there's no further entries.
Okay.
Yep. Inside his pack, if you're interested in any of these, there is a 50-foot rope, some extra clothes, a pickaxe, some cooking pots, 2 weeks of rations for one person, a grappling hook, a climbing harness, some spiked climbing boots, flint and tinder, 4 flasks of oil, 12 candles, and a lantern. Any of that interest you? But moving on.
It's a lot of stuff. What an accomplished mountaineer this guy must be.
Yeah, it's strange. Why the window is made of ice?
I don't know. You could try and break one.
But like, how does that happen?
I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of potential answers to that, but part of the question is also, does it need to happen in a way that we would understand, or does it need to happen in a way that our characters would understand?
No, but like I'm saying, like maybe if we got some foothold on this mountain of weirdness, we could start to make
I'm a
heads or
little
tails
more
of it.
concerned about like the harpsichord that plays when you don't look at it, and the painting that has us in it, than the windows made out of ice.
Okay, fair enough. But I those are a little bit beyond what I'm able to grab right now.
So I'm curious, has anything changed with the body since I've come out? Like
No.
while we were in there,
Completely still.
I just want to look around and understand if there are any signs that like anything lives up here other than
so
I guess
it's
the
completely
trees.
silent. You get the sense that wherever Zeke is finding these animals he's hunting, it's certainly not above his cabin.
Yeah, that's
You
what
don't
I'm.
hear insects, you don't see birds. Abraham, you mentioned you were looking at the stag head.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you see that as you get a little closer, the eyes they appear amber, like like a normal taxidermied eye would appear. However, it appears they're filled with a small translucent liquid, sort of gently sloshing around inside. And with
Well,
that, I have to pee. I'll be back.
All right. Well,
I'm
who
gonna
wants to
grab
die first?
oh my god.
I'm gonna grab a refill real quick.
Okay.
While we have
Okay.
Hold on, we'll flip to the drop screen. We can grab some drinks. Be back in like 2 minutes.
Okay.
All right. Are we back?
We're back.
Yes.
We're back.
Moment of
So-
silence.
We're back.
Were you guys gonna ask a question, Wilson?
Oh, yeah, I was just waiting for the cone of silence to end. Yes, as we come back in, I would particularly like to continue exploring, especially in the direction of any like secret shaft or anything like that.
Well, we've.
Well, there's the padlock panel on the floor you guys haven't explored.
Well, there's also.
No,
the-
yeah,
And-
I'm still just outside trying to find like any sign of life or anything else out here.
Okay. Well, so during the break, Lawson brought up a good point. Everything that is wood here has turned to stone, and everything that is glass has turned to ice. You're muted, Michael.
How did you know I was muted?
Because I saw your mouth moving. Yeah.
yeah, exactly
right,
like that.
Right. So,
Now
so
make noise with it.
okay. So a couple things. Clearly, when this cabin was built,
What glass other than the? Sorry, was there other glass other than the window?
Yeah, so there's glass in the water clock. There's glass. There's a mirror in the main hall.
and those
they're
are
all-
not ice.
No, those are normal glass.
Okay.
And there is water that is also.
But
not
the wood
frozen or
inside the
anything like
cabin
that.
is also turned to stone, right?
Correct. Like the chairs, all have thick cloth cushions on them.
I mean, for lack of like a better classification, it seems like anything structural has like changed form, right? Like it's not cold enough here for the water in the water clock or other water to freeze. So even if it really is ice in those windows, it shouldn't be ice. It's not cold enough here for that.
Right.
And obviously wood doesn't turn to stone.
That's
so,
right out.
So that's a problem.
And so I
Well,
guess
I mean,
as an aside-
fossilization does occur over like long periods of time.
right.
Right.
So we
but
saw a lot of the headstones, the ones that seem to be more recent,
Turned to
have the same grain of wood. They were carried up here by Zeke. And
okay,
turned to
so that's
stone.
actually the next thing I wanted to ask.
Oh, wait,
was
wait.
what the most recent headstones looked like.
Wait, you're saying that the headstones were wooden and now they're stone?
Yeah. So over time, you think maybe it's a long process.
But the more recent headstones are still wood?
Nope. They're all stone.
They're all
So
stone.
you think since his last trip, everything has hardened to stone.
But we think he was here a month ago, right?
About a month. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's all sorts of wacky funhouse antics going on in this
Yeah,
house.
no, that's what we're talking about. There's a lot of stuff. I'm just trying to grab onto some of this lower hanging fruit, like the picture, like I don't know, or whatever.
What do you do with it?
It can-
The eyes in the stag seem to be filled with this strange liquid, and for some reason, it sort of reminds you of the spherical baubles you were holding. In the painting.
Yep.
All right, well, I'll call everybody over because clearly this is very important. We saw this shit in the down
Painting.
in the hole. We saw it in the picture.
Oh.
It's a recurring.
Well,
Okay.
we're not sure that that's what was down the hole. That
Yeah.
was.
Does it look the
I'm
same?
not sure.
It looks very similar.
That was
Okay.
a rubber
Okay.
baby buggy bumper.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's hard to tell quite exactly because the eyes have like an amber tint to them, so you can't see the liquid as well. But sorry, what was that, Michael?
So Al does stumble back in towards like where he left his like drinking supplies. You said all of the chairs had changed direction, right?
Yeah.
Has anything else changed since the in
Yeah.
the few minutes since we've been
Good
gone?
point. You sit down and start resuming your drinking game. It takes you a moment, but you realize that the time has advanced. The time says 1742.
Like it's
And
been
before
like
it was.
it's been like 11 hours.
So okay. So Al goes, "Oh man, I'm way behind. I have to drink like 1, 2. How many?" So he asks. I guess Abraham's in the room looking at the moose head. He's like, "How many minutes in that many hours?" And he kind of just points at the clock.
It's 5.
But he's also pointing you out to the fact that the clock.
Oh, right.
is
Okay.
different.
Yeah, I'll look at the clock. Does it look like the clock is just like actually counting time in a reasonable way?
It has been, yeah.
It has been. I mean, Michael's been sitting there doing a shot every minute, and Rhea was counting out minutes.
Yep.
Okay, and it's like still night out.
Mhm.
Okay. Is there any way we could tell if time has passed outside?
Plant a seed.
Yeah, it seems like the sun has been gradually sinking over the horizon. It doesn't seem like it's passed quicker.
So,
Yeah, I mean, I went out there and nothing has changed.
do we have
really,
any
apparently.
wood on us? Does anybody have any wood?
Not yet.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
crossbow bolt.
Yeah.
I
Crossbow
have, a,
bolt.
lot of-
Okay,
I
great.
have, I have actually. I have a flute. I have a flute. I'm sure it's.
Well, you're
carbon.
going to have to use that once you realize that like 4,000 years have passed in this alternate timeline so that you can remember your alternate life.
All right.
You know what I'm talking about. Don't give me that blank look.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
All right, whatever.
Oh, okay. Now I get it. All right. Yeah, I get it.
Okay, so
Very funny. Yeah. Well, we do have a wooden flute on us.
We have a
on
crossbow
me.
bolt.
oh yeah, I'll take a
Yeah,
crossbow
that's
bolt.
true.
I'm going to put it outside, and like maybe in 10 minutes I'll go and look at it. And
Okay.
see.
Okay.
So as the 10 minutes are passing, what's everyone else doing? Everyone, I'm assuming, is congregated in the main cabin room.
Oh, I
I-
was outside, like looking around.
Okay, it's starting to get really cold though. You're very uncomfortable staying outside because the wind is starting to pick up.
Very uncomfortable inside.
Do you see that the trap door is like just there?
Yeah, so it's padlocked shut. But
So I'm fine. So yeah, I will go back inside because it is quite cold. I creep to the doorway and look in warily, and I see everybody standing there. Are the chairs all still facing away towards the south?
yeah, they're still facing towards the south. So
So-
you start to feel a little more confident and peek and gaze across the room, making sure there's nothing dangerous. And then you glance at the mirror and see that you can see the doorway in the mirror.
I'm
However, the
not in it.
doorway appears empty.
All right. It's
You-
literally a fun house.
You did, motherfucker.
I really don't want to go back inside this house.
This is a metaphor.
Uh,
Wait.
all right, fine.
Oh, he's outside and he's looking in and he can't see himself?
Yep.
Well, what if you step
All right.
inside?
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna stare at the mirror and like step inside the cabin and watch it.
Okay. For all intents and purposes, it appears like you're invisible when looking through this mirror.
I call out to Al. I say, Al, look in the
Hold
mirror. What do
on.
you see?
Al is standing with his maul over his head, about to smash the padlock on the trap door.
What do you see in the mirror? Damn it!
Where is this mirror?
Yeah, so there's a mirror in the main room. You
Oh.
can see it on the western wall there.
Okay,
Um,
I glance over to look at it from my,
So-
ready to strike position.
All of you look across, and it seems as though only Abraham is standing in the room, examining the stag head. Ignore that phone. But yeah, so Abraham, you look and you see the same thing. You see a mirror. You're the only one in it. It appears as though you're the only one in the room.
All right. And so, all right. So we all agree we only see Abraham standing
Yeah.
in this room.
You all see the same
Um,
thing. You also see that the frame has a thick stone. The mirror has a thick stone frame, and 3 of the runes, similar to what you saw outside the cabin and what is on the book, are inscribed. 2, 1 on each side and 1 on the bottom.
Oh, what did the runes say?
You don't know. Your spell,
Nobody
unfortunately,
understands the
expired.
joke but you.
I know, but I literally wanted to ask the question, and so I didn't want to make it a joke, but I knew you were going to say something about
Because
it.
it's your own inside joke and you say it all the time, but nobody has
But
any
I
idea what
literally
you're
wanted
talking
to
about.
ask that question.
All right, okay. Let's not fight amongst ourselves. There's clearly only one of us here.
All right, so I'm actually going to like collapse from fear. But first, I'm gonna cross back to the tome. I want to see how far back the entries in Zeke's like handwriting seem to go.
So the entries aren't in Zeke's handwriting. It seems like he just made notations as he marked down the names. There's still many
Okay.
pages of names to go, but they seem to start about 60, 65 years ago.
Okay.
So
Okay.
probably there was like a 15-year span. Maybe he was born sometime in that 15-year period. But that's when it seems like that collection of names. It seems like they're all from the same batch, but it also extends much further than that.
Is there like a writing implement here?
No.
There's
Okay.
no writing
I want
implement.
to pick up the book. I'll look under it. Look in the back.
Yeah, it's for all intents and purposes a black leather bound book.
All right. I'll say, "Hey, Rhea," and I'll toss the book over to her. Or sorry, is it him or
Her.
her? I'll toss the book to Rhea.
Okay.
Okay,
It's extremely heavy.
I was reading
was
that.
gonna
Okay.
say, just
Well,
judging by the way it was.
As the book is traveling through the air, I want to look at the mirror.
Okay. Yeah, it seems like the mirror, the book just appears to float in midair through the mirror as Rhea catches it.
Did anybody take that quill and ink out of the room?
No, not
No,
to my
nobody,
knowledge.
nobody took anything out. All right, I want to retrieve the quill and the ink.
Okay. Yeah, so you can take it. They're mundane, normal. The ink has a brand even on it. It's apparently purchased in a major city. It appears very, very new.
Okay. So if Rhea will permit me, since she's looking at the book, I want to open to the last page and I want to write my name in it.
Yeah, I'd put it back on the desk and kind of
Yeah.
flip to the next page and let you do your thing.
I'm sorry. Wait, what book are you talking about? The big
The tome.
The big
Oh.
tome.
Okay.
Tome.
Cool. Yeah. So you scrawl your name in it.
Yeah. That's all.
Okay.
All right.
So you're
While
in
this is
history.
going on, once I put the book back on the desk, I'll make my way over to the trapdoor.
Yeah. So
but
Alexander,
kind of
you were
bend
about
down.
to handle that.
Yep.
I like his method better. All right, Alexander. So make a strength check to open a door.
Okay.
Or so that would be a yeah. So it literally a strength check. You just have to roll below your stat.
Yeah. I'm
All
super
right,
strong.
Yeah. So your maul crashes through the trap door, revealing a 3x3 shaft, with a natural stone ladder descending down into the darkness. It extends far beyond the light from whatever torch or candle or light source you guys currently are using.
Okay. Right.
Alex,
So you can't quite.
I just mutter treasure.
Well, when you say natural stone, do you mean like it was wood and now it's stone, or it was actual stone to begin with?
No, it seems like it was carved into the rock.
Oh, okay. Okay.
A basement, eh?
Are
I
there
mean-
any light sources in the cabin beyond what we have on us, torches or whatever? Candles.
There's the Norquist Orway, the mountaineer. He had some candles on him. All of you, I think, have torches or candles or something.
Yeah, I have like a lantern, but the sun is going down outside, so there's
It's very-
little filtering through the ice.
Okay. So, a question: is there any way to open the trapdoor from the inside?
It doesn't seem so. It seems like it was like padlocked and chained from the outside.
And chain.
So anyone trying to open it would have to like push against a chain in the floor.
Okay.
All right. Well, Losen walks out and backs down the mountain, waving at Zeke as he strides by.
La la la.
Thanks for the warning.
You were right. It sucks up there.
Fucked up cabin. Have a great week.
Here's the book. You don't have to go up there anymore.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
should have just brought
exactly.
it down with
Why
you.
didn't you just bring the book down?
That's actually maybe.
All right.
the
That's
appropriate
actually a
question.
fantastic point.
Yeah. Ever since you take the book out, the house is normal.
Exactly. Ray will walk over to the desk, pick up the book that now has Losen's name scrawled on the last page, and try to walk out the door with it.
Sure.
Okay.
Foiled.
Nothing happens.
I think you walk out the door.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
by the way, I check in the crossbow bolt.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool.
Good call.
It's still wooden. It doesn't appear to have changed at all.
How's the time on the clock?
It hasn't changed. It's still advanced. Way past where it was before, but otherwise unchanged.
I say we all gather back in the bedroom
Sure.
and return
it-
in a
it-
few.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah. I'll do that.
I mean, that's what I think.
Okay, so you guys gather in the bedroom, return to the main room, and check the clock. The clock time now reads 15:45.
Yep.
And the arrow, if we glance out the door,
The arrow?
the bolt, the crossbow.
Oh
bolt.
yeah, still wooden.
Sorry, I was reading the joke, not the actual.
All right.
All right. So
Okay.
it seems this place
Seems
is
like somebody wants us. Seems like we've gotten everything we can out of these rooms. Let's go down the creepy tunnel.
Well, I mean, the metal of man is not to be dissuaded by such parlor tricks as these.
As you're talking, Alex is already heading down the shaft.
Yeah, I mean,
Parlor tricks? That picture is our picture.
I can paint
Alex.
a picture with us inside it. This is no.
Also, this whole time I assume the harpsichord music is playing, which is great.
It is fine.
I can
Yeah,
hear
and
it.
as you descend down the shaft, the harpsichord mute slowly fades into the background. The noise you initially heard near the shaft outside begins to grow louder and louder as you get to the bottom. Are you using a light source or anything like that?
I would give you a torch if you don't have one.
Yeah.
I think we all have something.
As I start to descend and I realize it's dark, I guess I just put my hand up for someone to hand me a torch.
Okay, yeah, you can climb down easily enough. Eventually, as you get to about 15, 20 feet above the surface, the walls and the floor below you seem to shimmer and shift with the light as you climb down. There's some strange movement.
Does it look? But the shaft is not widening or anything, right?
No, it's pretty consistent all the way down, and then eventually you can tell it opens up at the bottom.
Okay, how much further down is the bottom?
10, 15 feet. You could even drop it if you wanted to.
Okay, yeah. So I'll drop the torch and then I'll kind of climb back up and be like, "There's stuff down there."
So you get a better look as you drop the torch. It seems like the light is casting weird reflections on the walls. The walls seem uneven and almost shiny, like they're catching the light, like diamonds or ice would.
There's stuff down there. Pretty stuff.
Like treasure?
I don't know yet. Alex defines treasure as things he can carry, so he has not seen what he would define as treasure.
So who goes down first?
Actually, sorry, I don't want to go down. I want to pop the eyes out of the moose.
Okay. They're kind of hard to pop out. They seem to be fastened in. You might need to use a dagger to kind of pry them
Yeah, I'll
out.
take out my dagger. I'll cut the thing apart. I don't give a fuck.
What dagger?
Fuck.
I'll.
Yeah,
You got
erase
me.
that from your character sheet
You
right
got me.
now.
Rhea
You
would
got me.
gladly hand you her dagger.
Yeah.
All right. So yes, you take a tool, a knife, and begin prying the orbs out. Roll a dexterity check. Alex, you came up the shaft, right? You're not down there anymore?
16.
I kind of poked my head out.
Okay, so you're in the shaft but not up?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So you rolled a 16, you failed?
Great. Your body disappears and your head flops onto the floor.
All right. So you're trying to pry the eye out, and eventually you get it, but it slips out of your fingers and falls to the floor and shatters.
Great,
A thin, clear fluid just sort of slides along the floor like mercury almost, and begins making its way towards the open door.
I'll
Wait, the door, not the shaft.
Not the shaft, the door.
Yeah. Okay.
towards the door. Okay. I want to put something in its way. I don't know. What
Okay.
I have.
You could even put your foot. You could drop the knife in front
not
of
a
it.
part of me.
Rhea,
Yeah, exactly. A part of somebody else.
I have candles. I'll put
Great.
a
So
candle
you
into
drop a candle in its path. It's sort of it seems to slither over the candle and even under it. It's just passing around the candle and continuing its path. It's starting to accelerate. It's moving quite almost as fast as a bug or a spider would.
I jump in its way.
So after a few minutes, yeah, it's similar to Alex Mack, exactly. So it sort of slithers out the door, and do you like follow it with your eyes or just?
Yeah, I'll follow it. We're going on an adventure here. This is
Well,
our
I,
new
yeah,
friend.
I want to literally like get in front of it.
This thing makes the most sense out of anything we've encountered so far.
So it winds its way out into the darkness. You use your torchlight to sort of follow it. It's hard to keep track in the snowy and frozen ground,
going
but
right up that guy's
eventually
nose.
travels directly towards the corpse laying in the
Who's
graveyard.
following it?
Me, I'm
Losan
following
and
it.
Abraham.
Yeah,
Abraham.
yeah, I wanna go after it.
So
Rhea-
Rhea, I think, was staying in the house.
Yep.
Oh.
Either way, the corpse is only 40 feet from the door
Yeah.
of the cabin, so it's not terribly far. So you guys arrive at the corpse. The liquid seems to like slide in the nose, mouth, and eyes of the corpse.
Great.
And after a few moments, you see the fingers and on the right hand begin to sort of like gently like twitch.
Yeah.
It's a miracle.
He's alive again.
Losan passes out.
Okay, Losan, you should just not have come here. You made a bad decision. Okay. Abraham is going to hold his crossbow above the corpse's head, and if it starts to rise, he will
Okay.
we'll put
Yeah,
a
a few
bolt
minutes
into
go
it.
by, and it continues its like twitching, almost like a newborn baby experimenting with movement. But it
No
doesn't.
one is helping Losan.
It doesn't seem to
No
like
one wants
progress
to
any
help
further than that.
Losan. Fuck Losan.
I don't think that's how
Losan
babies
chose a
work.
bad vacation spot.
I was
but
on
yeah.
vacation.
It doesn't seem to progress beyond that. It just seems to sort of like gently twitch, but it doesn't animate.
I don't trust this. I have like a number of bolts. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna put a bolt in this thing's head.
Okay.
Just for good
So yeah,
measure.
you fire a bolt and it sticks into the forehead, and like a slow stream of blood trickles out and then stops on its forehead. The movement seems to continue. But it doesn't seem to like accelerate. It's
Yeah,
sort of
okay, fine. But like my concern is that this thing is actually animated now, and it's just like kind of playing dead. It's like actually fully. That's my concern. So, would I think that it would be like basically pinned to the ground by my bolt, or is that not?
no. You could burn it if you want. You have lantern oil.
don't
I
think
do.
so.
Losan comes to of his own accord with no help from any of his party mates after a few minutes of disorientation, and like finds himself lying on the ground near the dead body twitching, and he like shrieks and leaps up and jumps away. Excuse me. He says, what the hell's going on?
This
No one
corpse seems to be animating.
Yeah.
I've, of course, experienced such things before, but not as a result of some devious liquid.
So Rhea, you see no response from the other eye in the statue or in the stag. It hasn't reacted.
Okay.
No response. It's still sloshy, or
So yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
he popped out the right eye. The left eye looks identical to the right eye did, but hasn't been removed. Obviously.
okay.
But maybe we should
Okay.
remove the other eye and see if it'll.
Maybe
Yeah,
somebody with less buttery fingers should remove.
Wait,
the
you didn't like what happened with the first one, so you want to release the second one?
Well, okay, yeah, but like, if this corpse animates, I'm confident that we can dispatch it. So like, I would rather know.
Right, but it seems like that's what this stuff would do, at least
Sure, but,
perhaps
like-
in higher doses. So like, why actually make that happen? Why not at least take the eye with us intact if we can?
Do we have rope? Can we like tie up the body first?
How large is the stag head?
It's as large as a stag.
It's the size
Okay.
of one moose.
Okay.
Yeah.
By the
It's
way,
like the shoulder
Rhea-
to the head of a stag.
Rhea would walk over to it and try to see if it is fastened securely to the wall or if it's just on hooks or pegs that can be removed.
Yeah, it can be removed.
Okay, I'll pick it up, and kind of hearing the commotion that Losan's making outside, screaming, bring the stag head to the corpse.
Okay.
Okay, so before you do that, before anything else happens, actually, I want to. I have an hourglass. I want to take it and place it next to the water clock.
Okay.
Like turn it over and.
Alexander, what are you doing Are you following
I
her?
was just about to say, Alex is just still like leaning out of the top of this trapdoor, watching all this commotion about him. going, but treasure.
Just take another drink.
Taking another drink would involve getting out of the
Yeah,
hole.
I'll toss him his wineskin.
All right. So you bring the head out. Alexander, you stay in the cabin alone. What do you do?
I kind of look around. So I am actually alone. There's nobody in the mirror now, right? At all.
No, the room looks completely invisible aside from the smashed trapdoor.
It's not good. It's not good.
I think
No,
I'm
it's
gonna
definitely
not. I am gonna come out of the trap door and go to the front door and like just
keep
kind
an
of watch them and be like, "What's taking so long?"
Okay. As you do, you notice the top of the hour strikes again, and the two taxidermy birds come out pushing two tiny marbles. Take a search check.
I think we know.
Would that be what is that, by the way?
It's a
Intelligence?
skill.
Wisdom.
Wisdom.
So it'd be 1d6. So but plus your wisdom mod. So if you have a -1,
Okay. Yeah,
I think it can't go lower than 1.
I mean, I'd guess that these marbles are filled with
Yeah, the
love
liquid.
juice.
I minus the 1, right?
Yeah. So that's
It doesn't matter.
yeah. You don't notice. Anyway. But yeah. You know the little parade of birds comes out and fills you with a little bit of hope. That's fun.
Guys, it's been like 40 hours.
So what do you guys do?
Wait,
with
does
the
that
stag head?
clock match the water clock?
That is the water.
That is the water clock.
Oh,
It
I'm
is
sorry.
a-
I'm sorry.
It is
Yeah,
a
you're
cuckoo
right.
water
You're right.
clock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
So yeah, I will take the stag head, kind of place it down next to the body, and see. Obviously, I saw the way that this liquid reacted within the cabin,
No
so I want
reaction.
to see if it reacts. Nope. Okay.
Perfectly still.
I'll pluck it out and crack it open.
All right,
Well,
make a dexterity check. Are you going to try and break it?
Abraham. No.
What?
Perhaps you should let me
You
do
already
this.
said
The
it.
last
Sure,
time that-
do it. I don't care. I don't.
Okay.
I mean, I would hold my hand out and try to do it.
Go ahead and make a dexterity check.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's below.
You pop the small, small eyeball out of the stag's head.
Yep, and then I would carefully hand it to Abraham, kind of cradling it in both hands.
Yeah. No chance of dropping it now. So Abraham, you have now the small bauble of this strange fluid.
All right, I'll throw out the nearest gravestone.
Okay. It shatters and the fluid begins pouring down the stone and then starts shifting and traveling slowly towards the dead body.
Okay. I say
Why would
quickly,
you-
have you rope?
Yeah. So you can quickly bind the body. The fluid begins snaking into any exposed orifice of the creature that it could find, and slowly the creature begins to gain more motion. His hands begin twitching more violently against the rope. He begins thrashing around, kicking his feet, gnashing his teeth. He appears fully undead, so to say, at this point.
Sure. And he's still got a bolt in his head.
You're just making him Frankenstein's monster.
Frankenstein's monster. Okay, so kill it.
Yeah. So you can butcher it. It basically.
Well, no, I want to know
looks
when
at
it
you-
stops moving, right? Like if we cut off the head, does it stop moving?
Yeah. Eventually, it'll stop moving. It looks at you with this savage hatred and tries to rip at the bonds to get at you, but you're easily able to dispatch it in short order. No problem.
No, but okay, but my question is what kills it? Is it cutting off its head kills it, or
You get the sense that maybe the crossbow bolt, it wasn't animated when you shot the crossbow bolt, so you were just firing the bolt at a dead, lifeless husk. But
so if I
now
put
that it's
another
fully
crossbow
animated-
bolt right next to it, it kills it?
right?
Okay.
It was a sack of meat when you shot at it, and now it's a cow. Whatever. It's a full-grown cow, full-blown.
Okay, fair enough. All right, I'm satisfied with this. Whatever this is, I'm ready to go down in the hole.
I think what you mean is you're satisfied with the first 120 minutes of this
Oh, maybe.
campaign.
Yeah, that may be true. Well, I mean, but I mean, we can spend extra time. We're not over yet. I mean, we're over, but we started late, so.
All right. So, who's descending down first?
I'm basically still in the hole. Or no,
Oh, yeah, sure.
I was in the door.
So,
He's half in the bag and half in the hole.
When you reach the bottom, your allies shortly behind you. You can see that every surface of the walls and floors are carved. The stone is sort of carved to resemble these twisted, agonized faces, and all of the faces are covered in this thin sheen of ice, catching the light and casting strange shadows. All the faces have their mouths open and appear to be screaming in silence.
All right, let's go.
At the far end of the hall is a large stone door. A gargoyle head is carved in bas relief on it, and you can see a handle sticking out of the center of its mouth.
So say that last part again.
So there's a gargoyle head at the end of the hall.
Okay.
So they put you in a thin, narrow hallway. At the end of the hall is a door with a gargoyle head that appears to have its mouth open in a roaring, anger, twisted face. And there's a big handle in the center of the gargoyle mouth.
Like inside or kind of like hanging down from it?
Inside the mouth. So the mouth is like open on the door, and you have to reach into the mouth to pull it open.
I don't know about this.
Nope.
I think what you should do is like put your whole head in there. Try and really
just
find
grab it
the
with your
handle.
teeth and just let her rip.
So I go over there.
So as you get closer, you can see that there's actually a keyhole next to the handle, and there is a large bronze key still resting in the keyhole.
Okay, is the keyhole inside the mouth?
Yeah.
No.
So there's basically inside the
Oh.
mouth there's a keyhole, and next to it a large handle. So basically you have to reach in with both hands, turn
Yes.
it, and then pull.
Stick your
Okay,
manipulators in there and manipulate.
So, okay, to test the waters.
Okay.
All right, pants off. No. So,
Yeah.
so
Well-
I'm gonna take my non-dominant hand.
No, wait. Before we start risking hands, let's go with like something.
No,
That we could-
no. This is how I do it.
Okay.
This is,
Okay.
The first one
and,
down.
and he's gonna
Somebody's got to die first.
put it. He's not gonna touch the handle or the key. He's just gonna quickly put his hand forward and then pull it back.
Okay.
Into the mouth
No,
area.
sorry, you won't be pulling your hand back.
Yeah, well, I mean,
You're
just,
incorrect.
yeah, let's start with the first part.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you reach in and pull your hand back with no ill effect. Nothing happens. The door doesn't react.
Hey!
And nothing bad happens to the key or the handle whatsoever.
Seems like we're fine.
So Alex turns around to see everyone like cringing, in that like moment of anticipation. He's like, "Guys, I think it's gonna be okay."
Famous last words.
Wow. All right. Well,
All
go
right,
for
Ria.
it, Al.
All right, Ria, turn the key.
Okay, wait. Well, what do we have here that we could like do this smarter with? Because like certainly we could like, have like rope and shit and like, Oh, by the way, what happened with the hourglass when I passed back by it in the upstairs?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So the hourglass had passed normally.
But the water clock
the
passed.
time had still shifted. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Whatever. Okay, so
I don't know if we should do it more smartly.
okay, go for it then. I mean, if you want to.
No. I mean, Alex has got this.
Can-
Rhea,
Go ahead.
with Alex kind of prodding her, Rhea will reach out with
Are you at least going to
kind
turn
of
the
a
handle for her?
scared
You're
look
gonna.
on
I
her
mean,
face.
let's use like a pole or something. You're just gonna die.
No, she'll reach out, her dagger in hand, and
Hold on,
kind
wait,
of like
wait. Let me
hit the key
pull up
a
the
little
character
bit.
sheet first.
Just tap it.
Just,
Okay.
just tap the key.
Yeah. The key seems to like shudder a bit in its keyhole, but
It's just drawing you in. It's just trying to make you feel safe. It's gonna eat your hand. That's what this thing is for. It's clearly set up to do this.
I mean, all right. In the next like 10 seconds, like, do we have a pole or something? I don't.
Yeah,
I
we
don't
have the
think so.
10-foot pole.
We have the temple pole that is deconstructed.
So we can like tie a rope to it and like push it through the key. Also,
How wide is
you know what actually is
How
gonna
wide
happen?
is this hallway?
You know what actually is gonna happen? This is all misdirection, and like as we turn the
Nothing
key,
will
like
happen.
the whole room is just gonna squash us like flat or something. It's gonna be have
here's what I
nothing to
think.
do. Like the
Here's what I
gargoyle mouth is gonna be the only safe spot in this entire area.
Here's what I think. I think the person who is the only one to appear in the mirror should be the one to turn this key.
Oh, that's a fantastic idea.
Well, wait, wasn't your name in the book?
Oh.
Only now
Oh.
it's in there now.
I'm gonna get a beer.
All right.
Wait a minute. What the hell?
I'm still here. I'm still here listening.
All
What do you guys do?
So, okay. So I'm gonna take the pole. I'll put the pole through the key. Right, with like the rope. I'm gonna attach the rope to the end of the pole. Stick that through the key. Is there like a hole on the end of the key for like a key ring?
Yeah, but it's not wide enough to fit the 10-foot pole through.
Yeah.
The only time someone's actually said, I would touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Oh, brother.
I'm sorry,
you,
bother?
you could definitely take like a shoelace off a boot or something and use that to fit through the hole.
Okay, yeah, I'll do it.
But what are you doing? This would be great if you're trying to pull the key out, but you're trying to.
No, I mean you can wrap
torque
it so
the
that you
key.
can turn the key.
Yeah,
Probably.
No.
Yeah, I get.
Don't worry,
Abraham.
guys. Abraham's obviously the most dexterous of all of us. He's going to
No,
manage to pull this off.
But Abraham, you're doing this so backwards. Take 2 pieces of the 10-foot pole and chopsticks it, and then twist.
All right, fine. I'll do that. That makes sense. That's fine.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you take the 2 sections, like whatever, a dagger on the end of the pole, and you
I'm
can
telling
twist the
I'm
key
telling
without
you,
putting your hands.
It is not gonna matter. This is total misdirection.
The key turns and it sort of shudders to the right and then snaps back to the upright position. It seems like you actually need to hold it down in order to.
We've got more sections of 10-foot pole though, right?
Yeah.
Wait, so what
All right,
happened?
okay,
Meanwhile,
whoa.
the undead next to us just,
Let's-
wipe us
let's
all
cover
out.
the bases here. Let's cover the bases.
No, wait. What happened? Wait, what was the result of turning the key?
It
So
snaps back into
it
place.
reaches the end and then snaps back upright.
Okay.
Oh, it's
Like it
like,
has
you have to do both at the same time, guys. Come on.
Yeah, no, obviously. Okay, but okay, so here's what I want to do. I want to look up. I want to look down. I want to look at the walls. Like, what is going to...
Roll search check.
All right. I'm telling you guys, this is misdirection. This is not the danger. The danger is going to be it's something else that happens. The gargoyle, I'm confident that the gargoyle face
Then
is not
just
going to be
do the
going on.
gargoyle and we'll find out what it's
No,
misdirecting us
you
from.
don't want to just find out. Trust me. I'm rolling a search check, right? I don't have any skills listed. So what stat is that?
Oh, it's just 1d6 plus your wisdom.
Okay.
And you need to roll basically wisdom increases your don't add your wisdom. Wisdom increases the threshold. So like if you have a +2 wisdom or a +1 wisdom,
I got a +1
you
wisdom.
need a 2. Okay, so you need a 2 exactly. You
I
got
got
it.
2, yeah.
Okay, cool. You look through the seams above the door. You look around the floor for any like blowholes or anything. Are you wearing gloves, by the way?
I have leather armor.
Leather armor. All right, sure. You're wearing leather gloves. Okay, so yeah, you don't see any obvious signs of danger, but the door seems to be invoking this sense of dread in you. But
Yeah,
you
shit.
you think you're correct in that maybe the door isn't the real danger here.
Right. This is not Abraham's first rodeo. Okay? Listen. This gargoyle, it's pretty fucking menacing to put your hand in the gargoyle's mouth. But that is not what's going on here, okay? There's something else. And we got to
Okay.
find it before we
I'm
open
sorry,
this door.
what did you say?
All right.
Nothing. You found
I'll
nothing.
hold the mouth open.
No, it's not the mouth.
I'm gonna hold the mouth open, and you're gonna turn the key and hit the and open the hand.
No. Abraham's not into this. I'm not into this.
So Alex is now grabbing. He's like leaning over and grabbing both top and bottom of the mouth and holding it open. He's like, "All right,
Okay.
get it. Turn the key."
All right, so Alex has bravely held the gargoyle's mouth open. Who
Do we have
turns
enough
the key?
light down here and stuff?
No,
I
I'm
mean,
not
can
into
we...
this.
Yeah,
Rhea,
has the torch. Al has the torch.
Rhea would indulge Alex and reach in.
Okay, no.
And turn
Okay.
the key.
Abraham is getting like a good 15 feet back to watch the carnage.
Okay.
as it unfolds.
She would do it.
That's where
So-
the dead man's drop is.
I say.
Losen has lit up his pipe because this is taking too long.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's. All right.
Rhea, you
Piper.
turn the key to the right, and you feel it begin to want to spring back, but you use you hold it down, reach in, grab the handle, and pull, and the door swings open.
Wait. Okay, so Alex is like holding the head.
Yeah.
Do I like swing with the door?
No, you just it starts to move out. You back up. There's no resistance, so you let go, and the door just swings open.
Okay.
There's a
I'll
silence
turn-
that falls over the room,
I'll
and everyone
turn to
looks
look
towards
back
Abraham.
at Abraham.
You're all dead. Clearly, I'm
all
the only
over
one still alive.
All over nothing, Abraham. See,
The
we
door
had
opens
nothing to
to
be
a-
afraid of.
The door opens into a 20 by 40 foot room with 10 small tables lining the west and north walls. Each table has a small severed hand inscribed with Duvan Ku runes. On the east wall, massive bronze double doors are engraved with a large arcane symbol. And I think that's as good a place as any to stop for the night.
All right.
Yeah.
at the entrance to this underground complex.
Yeah, the severed hands with writing on them. That's probably the least weird thing we've seen here so far.
Guys, everything seems fine.
All right, why don't you take us out, Andrew?
You're
Yeah.
lucky that I held the mouth open, or else this could have been our severed hand.
Well, before we go, I want to say I really like this adventure. This is super good so
This
far.
has been really fun.
It's really
Yeah, the
cool.
pacing is a little slower than I thought it was going to be, but it seems like
I mean,
it's added to the suspense
Have
a little
you
bit.
have you ever run an adventure and not said that?
Oh.
I have never run an adventure and not said like, "Oh, this took a lot longer than I thought it would."
Well,
Anyways.
that about wraps it up. So if you're watching us on Twitch, be sure to check out our YouTube. If you're watching us on YouTube, be sure to check us out every Tuesday night at 7:30 Eastern. Next week, I believe we are going to be continuing Death Frost Doom, hopefully to its conclusion. And then after that, I believe we are picking back up Trail of Cthulhu.
Yeah, that's right.
Is that the plan? All right. So from all of us here, have a good week.
We
Stay
love
away
you.
from the voodoo.
Catch you next week.
And we're clear.
That's really
Cool.
good.
Yeah. So sorry about that. Like I felt like it was sort of lagging there, and I was trying to like move you on without like telling you what to do, but like you know.
I thought it was good. I mean,
Yeah, I thought it was fine.
I mean, I wanted it to move faster.
Yep.
But I was enjoying like everyone's trepidation, so it was fun.
And that was like the one thing the module did stress, like it like in this whole section it wants you to like just build up the suspense and there's no like cliff drop, you know.
Oh well, then 100%, everything was great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll get more deadly next session.
I guess. I mean, yeah. Fucking gargoyle mouth. Fuck you.
Yeah, that was. I read that knowing what he was fucking doing. Like, let's dispel the notion that the author doesn't know what he's doing.
No.
He knows exactly what he's doing.
Clearly, the guy who wrote this knows exactly what's going on.
The only change I made is that the key wasn't in the mouth. I added that the key was in the mouth next to the handle to
Oh,
add.
that's way better though. Like
Yeah,
the,
it is
the
way
fact
better.
that you have to put both hands in to make
Yeah.
it work is like really funny because it's like not only does it seem like it's like a death trap that you can't even like normally avoid.
Right.
But it's also going to just basically neuter your character depending on what he does.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, depending on what you use to turn the key.
Right. Like Nikolai the scholar, great. He doesn't have hands anymore. Who's going to give a shit about his hands, right?
Well,
He just needs to
probably
read.
him, you know. Hands. Also, you know what I like is that we open the door and there's just hands there. Like,
Yeah,
that's the other
we
thing,
got
is,
hands
like,
for days, kid. We don't need your hands. Oh.
Sweet.